The other game we're gonna just touch on this week is Shadowrun Returns. Go ahead. I didn't play this, so take it away.
Jeff and I played it. Did you play it?
No.
Did Nick play it?
No.
Did Xander play it?
Nope.
So Jeff,
There we are.
here we go.
I've never even heard of this.
You've never heard of anything.
You haven't heard of it, dude. This is
You
not,
were too busy playing Batman and Robin and losing.
This game exists
Whatever.
in like 5 different
It's been around
versions
since
already.
the 80s. It's like a board game.
Yeah.
And
I know. I played the Sega Genesis.
I played the Super
You played
Nintendo
the-
one.
We'll
And
let
they
you back
they
in the car.
remade the one for like Xbox,
Yeah,
like way
well,
back.
yeah, there was an
and it
Xbox
sucked.
one.
Quick
But-
introduction, if you don't know, Shadowrun is a pen and paper RPG set in like a future like cyberpunk setting with
There we go.
fantasy elements because you have the whole hacking and like.
It's a little cross genre kind
But
of.
you got orcs and elves in it, and there's
Yeah.
some magic.
This looks cool.
Yeah,
very
it is
cool setting.
The animation in this is much better than the old
Very
one.
Fallout.
Yeah,
A little bit.
yes,
classic.
very much like that. They made there was a Super Nintendo and a Sega game,
Yeah.
and they
Sega
made one for
Genesis.
Xbox and PC that was like a team-based shooter, had really nothing to do with the genre. It was
Yeah.
dumb. This is back in style with the pen and paper game. It's fun if you like turn-based like strategic like combat RPGs. You'll like it. I think you'd really enjoy it. And if you like
It's not
Cyberpunk.
strategy heavy either.
No, and
it's sort of
the combat reminds me of the new
easy to get
XCOM.
into. Yeah.
So if you like
Yeah.
that, if you like a more simplified version of that, you would
Yeah.
enjoy this. It's more about like the setting and the story and the dialogue.
Definitely.
I will say the campaign that comes with it is fun. It's a kind of a cool like
a mystery.
mystery
It's a
noir
good-
style
yeah, definitely.
story. But the game's more about the fact that it has a custom toolkit, and I think the game's fun now. I think it's going to be better a year from now once the community gets there, like really digs into it and makes a bunch of custom.
It's an
campaigns.
electronic version of the original game, I think.
Essentially, that's what it is.
Basically
Exactly,
what
it's a
it
toolkit, so you're not going to play the pen and paper game by yourself. But this
Right.
is, you can play like all those campaigns
Right.
on this game.
Download other people's.
And someone's remaking the
levels
Super
and
Nintendo
yeah.
game, so that's going to be awesome.
That'll be cool.
What console is this for, Jeff?
It's PC.
This is
It's
a
just PC?
computer game.
Is it Mac as well, or just
Yeah,
PC?
it is. It is Mac
Yeah.
as well.
It looks pretty sweet.
Yeah. Generally, games like this you can get on the Mac because they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like something I might play.
It's not very.
I think the animation is great. The
looks like
art is really
crap.
good, huh? Looks like crap from the back corner cave of the room.
Shut up, Josh. 2.0.
Wait a minute.
Shut up, Josh. Light.
So I liked it quite a bit, and I wasn't totally sure as to what it was going to be because I played the originals. Well, not the original, I shouldn't say. I started a
The
character
first
on the
video
board
game incarnation.
and I played the Sega games and the Super Nintendo when they came out. I can't remember which is which, and I played them more recently on emulators, and I have been meaning all this week to compare them, and I never got a chance to. But from what I recall, this is much more smooth. You don't die as easily. It's
Right.
not as resource dependent. I remember I couldn't get through one run and the other one because I ran out of bullets before I could even get out of the room. You know what I mean? And
I can't speak too much on the Sega game, but the
Right.
Super Nintendo game was very difficult.
and I think I'm maybe
But it's good.
remembering the Sega one as
It's
well.
good. This game has some music that reminds me of the Super Nintendo one, but that's one thing I wish, at least in this main campaign, I haven't played a custom campaign yet, so maybe
No,
it'll
there
be
aren't
different.
any yet.
Yeah, it just came out, but I'm hoping the music's a little bit more involved in the campaign that comes with it's called Dead Man's Switch. There's some tunes that sound like the Super Nintendo game, but they're a little kind of more in the background.
Reminded me a little Evangelist too. It has that Blade Runner feel.
Oh
to it,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Kind of
Well, I
like
mean,
the look that
setting
they
is-
seem like they're going
And
for.
like
a little
that.
at the same time, a little bit Mass Effect kind of like.
Yeah, I could see that.
Spacey sort
I
of
could see
thing.
that.
You know,
I can see
it's
it.
got that.
Well, if you're a fan of Mass Effect or any of the newer
least
games, you get the custom
orally.
the branching dialogue in this as well. So,
Yeah.
that's definitely fun.
You can play it good, you can play it bad.
And
Get karma points, or you can just rag on people and give them a hard time.
yeah. What class are you playing as?
I am a troll, rigger.
Troll rigger. What's a rigger?
Riggers will using a brain jack kind of implant control.
So like
mine's
a
a Doberman. It's called
Okay.
a Doberman. So it's basically like a bomb diffusing robot with a rifle on it, and you move it around separately of yourself. But when you have it engaged, you don't use any other weapons. You can only select one weapon at a time to fight with during your turn. So you can switch between melee or range combat, or with the rigger you can use you can use this robot. So you send the robot around the corner to the guy, and it's basically like adding a character. You can hide behind some cover and work on some people, and if the robot gets killed, which it's pretty durable, it lasts for a while. I didn't get blown away or anything. It doesn't seem, it's not chintzy. You know what I mean? It's not like when you,
it's not one hit.
disposable. You know what I mean? You get one,
it's gonna
you can
last.
upgrade it, you can add weapons, you can change the weapon that's on it, you can add armor and things like that.
So
that's
that's
sort of like a Decker, but more of
that's the other thing about
action.
this game. It's customizable. Obviously, there's going to be custom campaigns, but just in like the main game,
character.
There's how many classes are there? 5.
There's humans. There's elves.
Well, there's the races. Yeah, there's
the
humans,
races, right?
Humans, elves, orcs, dwarves, trolls. I'm probably missing something. And then there's the classes. I'm personally playing an elf that's a street samurai, which is a very like gun oriented.
Yeah.
But I also
just a fighter. It's basically your fighter class.
Yeah, well, there's the adept too, which is like a physical like kung fu fighter. There's a bunch of different classes, and you can kind of mix and match too. You can make your own custom class if you want to get a little bit more advanced. But even like I pick the street samurai, but I still put points in other things. Like I put points into decking.
You can sort of do whatever,
which is like the hacking in the game. Yes, because that's another thing.
Even beyond your class,
you can hack computers, go into the matrix.
At the very beginning too, you don't have to choose a class. You can just say, I want to choose whatever I want.
Exactly, when you can do that. So.
Yeah, there's a shaman, which is like your magic user.
And well, there's a mage too. There's a shaman, which is like a support class. Mage is more the offensive magic class. But even that you can mix and match. So basically, when it comes down to
pretty nerdy game.
Yes, if you like,
it looks pretty crazy.
It looks great, and it's easy to sort of just sit there and play for a while. It's comfortable to play. The control is pretty good. You can do almost everything with just the mouse. Where like in Warcraft, you want to kind of jump around a map, but with this you just you can use your arrow keys, but you pretty much get more or less your entire screen is your field of vision, especially in lit areas.
It's definitely a relaxing RPG to play. It has a very old school appeal with like the turn-based combat,
you can think about it.
But it's very customizable too, so you can kind of play it the way you want to.
Right. My complaints were that the soundtrack was sort of limited. I wish there was, I guess because of the way the game is set up, because it's set up for custom levels and custom campaigns, you can't have this. But I wish there was more either environmental sound or some voice acting. You know what I mean? But that's just me.
I mean, who knows? Maybe they can find a way to put that in.
The combat animations were really weak.
That's
so you shoot a guy and it's like, and the bullet goes, but there's no like impact. There's no sort of visceral connection to what just happened. You melee a guy and you meleeed him.
It's very.
And then he goes, ugh.
I guess back to our word of the day, budget. I mean, the game was a Kickstarter. It's why I think this
was it a Kickstarter?
It was a Kickstarter.
I didn't know
this is one of the first Kickstarter games I've played. I've been following for a while because I was psyched in these Shadowrun was coming out. Graphics, they're very passable, but
I like them. They're nice and clean.
The environments, I think, look good. The character models are very, they're all right. And then, like you're saying, animations, nothing to write home about, but it gets the point across.
You can see it here as they fight. And it's sort of just kind of like, I whack you.
And again, it's like we're saying, it's more like a pen and paper game. You get your set pieces and you get your range of attack and movement.
It feels a lot like that,
yes,
too.
Feel like an electronic
characters.
Exactly, an electronic tabletop game. Again, anyone who likes an RPG with some customization and wants pretty much unlimited content once the community gets into it, I would recommend it. I think the game's $20.
Yep, $20 on Steam.
I mean, the main campaign's fun enough. You can create your own stuff on it, and there's sure to be a lot of more campaigns coming in. Like I said, there's already 2 teams working on a remake of the SNES and the Sega Genesis game that are being made. Yes, they're actually 2 interconnected teams, so we're going to be seeing those soon. And of course, there's just going to be a whole slew of original content for it. So,
and you give it a?
I give it a.
If you like that type of game, buy.
I give it a buy.
It's
buy definitely.
Expensive. I think it was a good game. I think people who are into that sort of genre as well would like it, and I think it'll get better if you haven't gotten into those games yet. It's a good way to sort of
ease your way into it.
Yeah, it's a good way to get into a game like Shadowrun without having to buy the tabletop set and all your pieces and all your stuff and getting a bunch of friends together.
Getting a bunch of friends together and getting a bunch of friends to read the rules.
Right. And it's good have a game master. It's it's complicated. So it's a good way to get into that sort of stuff.
I've tried. It's too hard.
So what you're saying is it's good if you don't have any friends and you're lazy.
and you can't even make friends with other nerds.
Yeah, so
You're
it's
definitely
perfect.
gonna like
It's
this
not
game.
that easy, okay?
It's good. It was good. It's a good game. Definitely a buy it if it's your thing. I can't say buy it because most people.
If you don't like, if you don't
it's
like,
definitely a
if you don't like
genre
straight up
specific.
RPGs, there's no action. I mean, there's combat, but it's not action.
It's a lot of reading.
Exactly. If you don't like straight up RPGs, you won't like it. But if you're an RPG fan, especially like old school RPGs, like I said, Fallout's, Wasteland, even the old Baldur's Gate, or if you like pen and paper games, you will enjoy this, and it's definitely worth the $20.
Awesome.
Nice.
Very cool.
So that's all we can tell you about that.
Shadowrun Returns.